Space. So cold yet so far away. Is there life in outer space? And if so, is it visiting our planet?
Tonight on Deep Probe, we meet a man who claims he was abducted and then sexually molested by health professionals from another solar system.
His name was Zorag.
And a bar owner who was held hostage by alcoholic alien forms.
They just had a voracious appetite for the booze.
And we asked the question, is this the face of alien life?
New Zealand has long been a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity. Consider this footage shot by whale watchers in Kaikoura 1978. Is there a connection to these stone heads in Easter Island? Or these mysterious stone structures in Machu Picchu? Who built them and how old are they?
The problem with it is that the longer you study it, the older it gets.
Are we being visited by astronauts from another galaxy? And if we are, what are the chances of them being stonemasons? Stonemasons from another solar system.
It is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore the amount of credible eyewitnesses. You're about to hear from Simon Houseman. He is just one of thousands of people who have experienced an alien encounter. A warning, what you're about to see may be quite disturbing.
I remember it was a white room, a bright white room, that vaguely smelt of Parmesan cheese. A guy called Zorak approached me. He was a strange being.
Zorag. How do you know his name was Zorag?
His name was Zorag because it was written on his jumpsuit. It was a grey jumpsuit and it had Zorag written right there on the side there. He told me he was a medical professional from another galaxy and he wanted to just run some tests on me.
Coming up.
Before they finished that round, they'd get the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. It was never ending.
And we still don't know
Who built Machu Picchu?
The longer you study it, the older it gets.
Kevin Farnham claims his life changed after an intergalactic stag do. He agreed to talk to us, providing we blacked out his identity.
Kevin, tell us what happened back in 1998.
They came straight up to the bar and set up a tab and ordered a round. Before they finished that round, they'd get the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. It was never ending.
How would you describe them?
They looked just like you'd expect what aliens would look like, except only fatter. And there was one alien who didn't get his round in at all, and the others gave him plenty of shit about that, and I thought that was quite funny because that's very human. They just had a voracious appetite for the booze. I've never seen anything like it, really, certainly not on a Tuesday.
Kevin's story shares remarkable similarities to that of Simon Houseman, who claims he was molested by a health professional from another solar system.
He told me he was a medical professional from another galaxy and he wanted to just run some tests on me. He took some urine off me and then took fluid out of what seemed to be one of my ears. And then he did that gonad cough test thing on me. It made me cough and things for that. And then two other beings came in that looked a little bit like Zorag. I know they weren't Zorag because they weren't wearing a silver jumpsuit, and Zorag had a silver jumpsuit on. And there was a hell of a kerfuffle. And Zorag was arrested. Zoltav then entered the room and he said, in fact, that Zorag was a fraud and that Zorag was going to go away for a very long time for malpractice. Zoltav seemed a hell of a lot more professional. Things were going pretty well and then things started to get crazy. I blanked out for a while. They put a rectal mind probe up my ass and started downloading information about Earth from my brain.
Now pull yourself together, man!
They used a rectal mind probe to download important information about Earth from my brain.
Simon's story bears no resemblance to Kevin's, so mathematically speaking, it is at least twice as unlikely that either of them made them up.
Oh, bourbon, tequila, gin, the whole raft. Only a few years ago, our drinking age came down, but I reckon if you ask me, on their planet, it's probably only just come down like last week, because these guys weren't used to drinking the sort of volumes that they were putting away. They simply weren't human, and they weren't standard human measures. One guy, the fat guy, he drilled 64 bourbons with no ice in what seemed like 64 seconds.
Nobody on planet Earth is able to duplicate that behavior.
Coming up. UFO footage captured on film. And we ask the question,
Is this the face of alien life? Text your answers now. With the advent of the home video camera, UFOs captured on film have increased roughly 3,500%. Consider this footage shot in Nevada, 1978. Or 1 year later, this remarkable footage in New Mexico. Or this footage shot in Balmoral only last week.
Gordon Goodman, on a modest budget, was making a lesbian porno movie when he accidentally captured this incredible footage. A dancing light appeared in the window. There was confusion. Eventually, he managed to capture this remarkable footage.
I've concluded that the film is not a hoax. My investigation of this whole case leads me to believe that the film shows a real, unidentified flying object.
Kevin's close encounter is like no other in documented UFO history.
When it came time to closing, I confronted them about the tab, which is quite big by now. As I said, probably 13 grand. That's not including the kamikaze shakers.
The kamikaze shakers?
Well, I put them on the house, and they sort of started to, question how much, they owed and stuff. The response was the fat one spewed up, regurgitated a whole lot of green slime all over me, which is not really surprising because he'd had about $1,000 worth of green chartreuse.
Eventually, Kevin's ordeal came to an end.
Yeah, well, eventually they left via the back door on some sort of neutron tractor beam type setup. But hey, I'm no expert, but that's what it seemed like.
A neutron tractor beam?
No, the back door.
Many might say that Kevin's full of shit, but Simon's ordeal was far from over.
They used a rectal mind probe to download important information about Earth from my brain.
What do you think they learned?
I don't know, but it was up there for a hell of a long time. They were using a very slow modem.
Then what happened, Simon?
I just remember waking up just down the road from Kelly Talton's.
Simon's life has changed substantially since his encounter. He can no longer lie in a sunbed for more than 15 to 20 minutes or enjoy Parmesan cheese. Until irregularities with the stock take for the month of June 1998 can be explained, Kevin can only operate the till with another employee present. He's philosophical about the future. You've been watching Deep Probe.